The weather wasn't the only storm brewing this weekend. The new venue at the Europa Point Stadium posed new challenges logistically for the Gibraltar Calling Music Festival organisers, Neon Angel for the Ministry of Culture. But that didn't stop festival goers from taking to social media to air their frustrations. Many pointed to long entrance queues once the festival had opened its doors, only to be met by long queues at the token booth, followed by yet more queuing up for drinks. But it was the restricted access to the classic stage that perhaps generated the most anger, given that this year it was held inside a sports hall. A maximum of 1,500 people were allowed in at any one time. That's just 15% of festival goers. Some fans, excited at the prospect of seeing the Lighthouse family and Steve Harley and the Cockney Rebels, were left disappointed. But despite the complaints, the evening ended on a high note as Enrique Iglesias thrilled the audience with his high-octane set. Nevertheless, social media saw many complaints from furious ticket holders, prompting the GST leader to criticise the chief minister. Keith Azzopardi said there were two Gibraltars, one of champagne socialism and pictures with celebrities, and one of interminable coupon and drinks queues, as well as restricted access to see the musical acts. Mr. Azzopardi also said, if elected, he would put the festival out to tender and make it a success with better value for money, adding there would not be a government VVIP enclosure, as Mr. Picardo has had. The Chief Minister soon hit back on his Facebook page, saying he had asked GST members of Parliament to help him explain Gibraltar's Brexit case to the MPs, MEPs and CEOs attending the festival. However, he said they had refused, instead preferring to diss the festival for electioneering purposes. The Chief Minister said this was transparent hypocrisy. As he said, a number of GST MPs had accepted government VVIP hospitality in the past and claims they only stopped doing so when they were asked to make a contribution to charity in exchange. Meanwhile, Together Gibraltar's Marlene Hassan Naon used her social media pages to mock what she referred to as the rich white male lawyers fighting over what elitism and privilege means. Further comments followed her post. However, behind the scenes, efforts were underway to fix the problems faced on day one of the festival. The organisers issued an apology via their website, and although they said entrance queues were much the same as in previous years, they acknowledged that those at the token booth were lengthier than expected. This resulted in a redesign of the structure for Sunday in order to create more lanes. Regarding issues with access to the classic stage, the organisers said due to the structure of the sports hall, access to the stage had been strictly controlled to meet fire and safety legislation.
Well, it's day two of the festival, and some of the anger and frustration that spilled out into social media last night over certain aspects of the organisation of this event spilled over into the political arena today, with all political parties pointing the finger at blame at each other. But if the truth be told, on day two of the Gibraltar Calling Music Festival, there are just as many people, but the queues, well, as you can see, they're not so many at the token booth and at the classic stage. And although the rumblings of this year's festival will no doubt continue for weeks to come, today at least nothing is going to rain on this parade.
In answer to GBC questions as to whether more people were allowed in, the government said the capacity was consistent across the 2 days. In a bid to meet expectations, the classic stage's last act, Killer Queen, was moved to the main stage, with Mr. Picardo saying it was impossible to move any of the other acts. The Chief Minister told GBC the organisers had listened to people's criticisms and were able to make improvements to various systems. As a result, he said Sunday was a huge success, with 10,000 people enjoying a fabulous day of entertainment that not even the morning's terrible weather could spoil. Mr. Picardo also said on social media the government would decide the next music festival organiser by a tender process, and they would need to ensure that there is no repeat of the issues experienced over this weekend.